And a huge welcome to today's Postgrad Insight session. Today's session will be brought to you by the University of Aberdeen Business School, who are going to be talking to you about all things business within Scotland, within Aberdeen, and what makes them the best choice for your postgraduate studies moving forward. Before I hand you over, this is a live session. So if you have any questions and you're watching on demand, please email myself, Gareth, at postgradsolutions.com. And if you are watching on social media today, please use the messenger facility or the live chat facility, depending on what you are watching on. But for now, I'd like to hand you over to Jay. She's going to be taking you through the next 20 to 25 minutes, and I'll be back for the Q&A towards the end. See you soon. Jay, over to you.
So first of all, my name is Jay Carr. I'm the Recruitment and Partnership Officer here at the Business School at the University of Aberdeen. And we just want to go through these presentation slides here with you today to discuss your time here at the university, your time here at Aberdeen and in the city and in the Shire, what that looks like for our students. So you can see for the first slide here, it gives you a bit of a sort of insight visually into the city, and the lower picture sort of depicting the sort of granite old style buildings that we have here in the city in Aberdeen. And also the top visual, you'll see more of the castle base. So this is the Shire based more for Aberdeen Shire. We have so much castles around in this sort of geographical area, lots of beautiful landscapes. Obviously we're on the shore side as well, so there's lots of different things for people to do in amongst Aberdeen City and Shire. We also have our new Dolphin Watch hub here in Aberdeen, so you can actually sit in a beautiful cafe in Aberdeen and look out to the sea at the harbour. You'll see multiple ships coming in, you'll see dolphins, you'll see our lighthouse. So it's very varied as a city as a whole. It's very small in terms of being able to reach different places, varying different places, beautiful different places within sort of an hour's distance. As I say, you've got the shore on the side. The city is literally at the shore side, so it's very, very close, very beautiful. We currently ourselves here sitting in the office are a 10-15 minute walk down to the beachfront, so it's lovely. You're also a 10-15 minute bus drive or train drive out to the Shire, which is obviously where the castles are, the tours that you can possibly get as well. Also on the right hand side, you'll see the closer than you think box over there. So that's just detailing like kind of how close we are as a university and a city to other main cities in the whole of the UK. We're really not that far. People speak about being in the northeast and being kind of far up north, but we are actually very, very close to many other cities and main destinations that people would like to go for little holidays, for cultural visits, for historic visits. I know obviously within Scotland, particularly Edinburgh, for the historical factors of the castles as well. So I want to just detail to people that actually we're really, really close in a distance to be able to go and visit everything in the Shire, but also everything in other cities if that's an interest to you as well. Moving on, please, Gareth. Thank you. Further detail on this page is explaining the rankings that the university, in specific the business school here that we have currently. These are new rankings for the NSS, which is the National Student Survey, the first for business studies, so we're extremely proud about that, and second for student satisfaction, which again is feedback from yourselves, from your previous student colleagues that have said that we're so good that we've been placed second, and their experience here, their learning experience, but also their social experience here at the university and their life here has been so good that they've ranked us second, which we're, as again, extremely proud of. The Guardian University rankings in 2024, as you can see the stats there, the 7th in the UK for specifically accounting and finance, 11th in the UK specifically for business management, and 21st in the UK for economics. Again, this is great pushes for us. It shows that we are doing the best that we can for our students. You're getting the best experience, the best research-based information, and you're getting the best sort of guidance from our academics as well. Times Sunday is a further one that you can see at the bottom there, that guide for 2024, and further over to the side on the right hand side just to see a couple of images that are in and around Aberdeen. These beautiful buildings that we've got, they're all very historic looking buildings. Our cobbled streets are all very historic looking, very old, kind of giving a Harry Potter sort of vibe, and we've got lots of tours available in Aberdeen in our campus area, so you can actually book a virtual tour if you'd like to do that, or you can also book an in-person tour. And once we move further on, I'll be able to copy all of the links that we've got in this presentation into our chat for you. So you'll be able to go back and have a look at all the links that are there. So when I spoke about tours, you'll be able to click back into that and see what that would look like. So the business school itself has celebrated our 100th year anniversary back in 2020. So the institution, as you know, is from 1495. It's an extremely old institution. We're very, very proud of it. And our heritage and our buildings that you can see as well show the sort of historic factors of Aberdeen. Our alumni and our global impact and all the students that we've had previously, bringing back their experience to our current students, bringing back their career aspirations of where they've landed further as well. So that's something that we're very proud in, where they've landed because they've came to the University of Aberdeen, where their careers have progressed to because they've used our live research that our academics give. We're very proud of that as well. Thank you, Gareth. Brilliant. So we are interdisciplinary at the business school. We do have our live set of our postgraduate programs, so including our accounting and finance, our real estate, our economics, our business management, our HR management, all these sort of different programs that hopefully you will be all aware of. Again, the link's live there for you, so you can have a pop back onto our business school webpage and be able to have a look at all the programs that we have for our postgraduate students. We do have the interdisciplinary factor where we join with other schools within the University of Aberdeen, and we have joint sort of programs that bring in courses from both aspects of the schools. For example, you can see there the corporate finance and law, the international relation management, and the international finance and politics relations. We're also very international in our student body and our staff academic body and our supporting staff academic body. Students, 57 different nationalities. This is just in the business school. Faculty, over 26 different nationalities. We've got further 6 research centres, and we have 81% of our research was classified as world-leading and internationally excellent, and that's from the REF back in 2021. We do also have lots of partnerships that go on within the business school. That can be partnerships with local companies, that can be partnerships with other universities that we have. So for instance, one is in China with SCNU. We've got a partnership with them where their students study undergraduate and then come here for the second half of their undergraduate. We've also got other partnerships where they study undergraduate and then come here for the postgraduate level. So and this is worldwide that we've got these sort of partnerships throughout the university, but in the business school we have actually got quite a lot individually specific to the business school as well, and they are worldwide partnerships. Our internationalization vision is to utilise our intellectual resources of the school to engage with the world, enhance our intellectual positioning, and make the school internationally significant. There are a couple of little add-ons there, Gareth, if you want to click onto the next. Yep. So we're constantly reviewing, improving, and adding to our postgraduate programs through the means of data and market analysis. So we're constantly reviewing everything that we have available for students, feedback-wise, through our programs with current students, previous students, and our alumni as well, to find out what's the most relevant. We've also got some boards that we have within the university, and again specific to the business school, where we speak with our external engagement colleagues that are company-based basically in Aberdeen. They are part of local companies, they are part of worldwide companies, and they come and join our board, and we discuss factors that are struggling in the society at the moment, that are struggling for jobs, for employability, and how we can make sure that we are being real life in how we are moving forward with business school. Next slide, please, there, Gareth. Thank you. This is just a page onto our student testimonials. So just a couple of examples of different students that have been with us, that have moved on successfully. They have taken variations of different programs. So there's the MSc Accounting and Finance, International Business Management, MBA, International Business and Finance. So a couple of examples. These are always updated. We're trying to constantly update these with the students that are currently in studies for testimonials, that are alumni, to find out where they've progressed onto in their career and how we've been able to enhance that opportunity for them by building that relationship and being able to build that experience of their studies here whilst they've been here at the University of Aberdeen. Again, the links there that you see on the left-hand side, so they're all alumni testimonials or current students that are live in their sessions just now. And you're at your own leisure to review these videos and see kind of what they're saying, if it's relatable to you. If you hear any points that you think, this is really good, I'm glad I listened to that, we would really suggest that you watch these videos to hear the student experience on a first-hand basis. Thank you, Gareth. Moving on to a slide that's just detailing a couple of our sort of facilities and opportunities we have here at the business school and at the university as a whole, whilst your time here as a student. So the Adventure Zone is a hub for entrepreneurship. It's given students the opportunity, so this is available for all of our students free of charge, and it will also be available for you 2 years after you graduate as well. And it's an opportunity for pushing entrepreneurship within our students, especially the meetings. They have meetings once a month where they meet, they kind of collaborate, bounce the ideas off each other. They have business breakfast in the morning. It's a very good hub for pushing new ideas. They've got a whole system that they go through, and there's competitions and all these sort of things involved. It's a very good place. We've got students that are maybe not interested in starting something that's aligning with their path of choice with their program and what they're choosing to study, but they might have actually a venture idea that they want to move forward in entrepreneurship that doesn't align with it, but it's just an idea they have. It's welcome to all students. It's a great thing to be a part of and experience if you are entrepreneurial in any sort, or if you become entrepreneurial at all in your studies, your time here at the university. The Bloomberg Finance Lab is the live data lab that we have available for our students, and a lot of our students that are in finance as part of their program will actually be using that finance lab. So that obviously accesses the Bloomberg live markets data. It's very interesting. I have seen it live myself, and it is a very interesting system. Very intense, I found very intense, but very, very interesting to see. The innovative working space that you see over the right-hand side, this is actually a new part of our building that we updated and upgraded specifically for our postgrad students here at the business school. We had a lot of business school students in the postgraduate level who our classes were really quite big for being able to, and too big in a setup to be able to allow them to collaborate well and do group work well for a lot of our classes. So actually we created a brand new space just for the business school students to allow that collaboration, that small group work that you can see hopefully in that picture. There's sort of lecturing styles, but also individual spaces for like 3-4 working group at a time. So these are brand new spaces that have been created in the past couple of years. They're fantastic for our postgrads, fantastic for presenting in small groups, and as I say, collaborative and small group work. Exceptional accommodation. There is actually accommodation available here on campus for our postgraduate students. It's just up the road. It's very, very, very close in campus, so it's brilliant for postgrads coming international from all over the world. I appreciate that it's difficult to understand how to get accommodation when you're coming from a different country or a different city and things. So we do have that option available. And the Sir Duncan Rice Library is a very new library. It was opened by the late Queen, unfortunately passed away. So we do have that beautiful library available for students. It's very modern. There's a lot of collaborative working spaces. There's a lot of quiet working spaces. There's bookable areas. It is a very, very beautiful building. If you're doing the virtual tour at any point or having a look at the sort of pictures available, please have a look at the inside of the library. It is a very high spec and beautiful library. You can see the sort of zebra print vibe that you get off the building. That's all clear glass, where you can see the sort of blueprint parts are all clear glass. So when you get up to the top floor of that building in the library, the views that you see across to the sea, to the Shire, to the rest of the city are absolutely outstanding. They are absolutely beautiful. Next slide, please, Gareth. So I'm just going to pass now on to my colleague. So this is Dr. Yakubu Abdul Salam, and he's going to now cover our online PGT discussion of our programs that we now have available to students. Gareth, if you want to just click through another couple of times, there'll be about 5 or 6 information sections come up. Brilliant, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jay, and thanks, everyone. My name is Yakubu Abdul Salam. I'm an associate professor of economics within the business school here at the University of Aberdeen, and also the director of online. And very happy today to present to you the options that we've got on the online front. So within the business school here at the University of Aberdeen, we have a long history of delivering online programs since 2017. So we are forerunners in this field. We currently have 4 programs that I would like to go through. The first is the MBA Global program, which is one of our earliest programs on the online front. So this program is built to sort of help you build your skills in leadership innovation, strategy development, marketing, and so on. It's a very flexible program in the sense that you can take 4 courses on the program and exit with a postgraduate certificate. You can take 8 courses and exit with a postgraduate diploma, or you can take the entire program for the MBA. There's also a short course route option where you may decide, I'm interested in a particular course rather than the entire program. So you can subscribe onto that particular course and exit with a credit on that course. There are overall 12 courses on the program. There's no dissertation. The way students are assessed on the program is through projects and essays and group work and so on and so forth. And this is all online. Our past students have been very successful in the employability space. So we have past students working in banks, such as the Bank of Scotland and Standard Chartered Bank, working in international firms like KPMG, in energy firms like Shell and Centrica, and so on and so forth. In terms of how you pay for the program, it's on a pay-as-you-go basis because, like I mentioned, the program is very flexible. You may come on a short course route, which means you pay for a single course. You may subscribe to the entire program and so on. So the way you pay is termly. So per term or per semester, that's how you pay. And you pay for the courses that you take. So the program is very flexible in that sense as well. The eligibility criteria for subscribing onto the program is a 2-2 or a 2 years experience in the field. So if you have 2 years working experience or a 2-2 qualification, you can enroll onto the program. If you have any doubts at all as to whether or not you qualify for the program, you can always email the admissions team. They are quite responsive and would be able to assist you with any inquiries you have regarding eligibility. So that's one program. We also have the MSc Finance program. Again, an online program that has been around for since we started online programs here at the University of Aberdeen. Very successful program. The key thing about the program is that it has a CFA option. As you know, the CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst qualification, is one of the highest distinctions in investment management profession. So we do have that option onto the program. You can take 2 courses that would prepare you to write the CFA exam and qualify for the CFA qualifications. The course's design is it's an evolving course in the sense that it's abreast with what's happening in the finance space. So you build your knowledge in fintech, which of course is a quite relatively recent phenomenon, big data, international finance, and so on and so forth. So you build your skills in these areas. If you take this program, you can expect to exit with a qualification to be a business analyst or an asset manager or a consultant or an accountant and so on and so forth. So that's another program. We then have the MSc Marketing Management program. It's a relatively new program. Again, as the name infers, builds your skills in the area of marketing. And then we have the MSc Energy Economics and Finance program, which I know quite well because I manage this program. It builds your knowledge in the energy space, which, as you know, is quite a fast evolving space with energy transition, climate change, and so on and so forth. So we don't just deal with oil and gas. We also look at renewable energies and so on and so forth. So these are the 4 programs that we currently have at the University of Aberdeen when it comes to online delivery. And like I said, these programs are very, very flexible. You can come in subscribing onto the entire program. Each of these programs has 12 courses. So you can take the whole MSc, or you can say, I just want to graduate with a diploma, in which case you take 8 courses out of the 12 courses in each of these programs, or go for a PG certificate, a postgraduate certificate, which is 4 courses, or a single course through the short course route. So there are various ways of uptaking these courses, these programs. In terms of the way the programs are delivered, in terms of teaching is 100% online. So you're not required to be in Aberdeen to enjoy all the facilities that Jay has just been talking about, although you are always welcome to visit. But the way the program is delivered is strictly online, in which case you don't need a visa. You don't need to go through all that trouble to be here. We have a world-class virtual learning environment called My Aberdeen, where all the material for the programs are synthesized. So that's where you access all your material. The way we provide material is through videos, through textbooks. Jay mentioned the Said Unauthorized Library. E-resources in that library are available to all of our online students. We also purchase certain e-resources strictly for our online students. You also have the opportunity to interact with University of Aberdeen lecturers on a weekly basis. So every week on each of these programs, we hold live webinars where you can interact with the University of Aberdeen lecturers as well as your other cohorts, your other peers on your program. Jay mentioned that our university is international. So for 2 of the programs here, the Energy Economics and Finance program and the MBA Global program, we have a collaboration with Curtin University in Australia. So you can decide to take 2 of the courses. So you can swap 2 courses on these programs with 2 Curtin University courses. And so that gives you a bit of an international exposure when it comes to the delivery of our programs and courses. In terms of support, there's a lot of support. A lot of the support that we have for our on-campus students are also available for our online students. So we have a careers and employability service. If you want your CVs assessed by this service, they can always arrange a one-on-one meeting with you to discuss your CV. If you want some advice when it comes to career and employability, they can do that as well. We have a world-class IT support. So if you have any issues regarding IT, they can help you with that as well. We have a student support service. If you have any issues at all regarding your study or your experience on our programs, you can always contact them. We also have the Aberdeen University Students Association. You can subscribe to this association as an online student. So I see that time is far gone. I will stop here. Suffice to say, if you have any issues at all regarding our online programs, you can always email bs-online@abdn.ac.uk, and I'll put that in the chat for you. So with that, I'll hand it over now to Lindsay. Thank you.
So welcome, everybody. Thank you very much to Jay and Dr. Salam. I am Lindsay Tibbetts. I'm Director of Student Experience within the Business School. I'm also a Senior Lecturer in Accountancy, but my main area of focus is in audit. And I want to take a few minutes just to talk to you about employability, which is important to us within the Business School, and a little bit more about the student experience that is available both on campus and, as Salam mentioned, online as well, to our online students as well. So first of all, we were very excited. Just at the end of last year, the school acquired EQUIS accreditation. This is a very prestigious and meant that we were joining a very elite group of business schools within the world There are only just over 200 business schools in the world who have got EQUIS accreditation. So it recognises our quality, the quality of our education. We are currently on the journey as a school towards AACSB accreditation. And several of our programs have individual professional accreditations as well. Real estate, for instance, has RICS accreditation. And for our accountancy programs, we've got ACCA, CIMA, and ICAS accreditation, which may be of interest to people who are looking at going into the professional route. Now, we have a focus on employability. We recognise that our students are spending a lot of money to come and study with us, and generally that is because they have career ambitions. But those career ambitions may be to go into industry and practice and professional practice, or it may be on to further studies such as PhD type study. And 93.8% of our students will go on to either a graduate level employment role or on to further study within 15 months of graduating. And our graduates go on to a whole range of small local firms up to very large multinational Big Four accountancy firms. The big banks, etc., recognise us as an ancient university, providing valuable education and training. So how do we get you to that point? It's more than just your programme itself. Your programmes are led by a mix of people, depending on the type of programme that it is, but where it's vocational. You'll find a mix of world-leading academic researchers, recognised across the world, as Jay said earlier. 83+% of our research is deemed to be world-leading. But as well as that, on the vocational degrees, you'll have people like myself who are, rather than career academics, we come in with professional practice experience. So I've got 20+ years of industry experience in audit. And our roles are really to make sure that we are linking out to industry. So there are a team of us who are involved in providing those opportunities, whether you be online or on campus, to link out to industry throughout your programme. My colleague Sam Begg has spent a lot of time developing Professional Development Week. Professional Development Week happens 1 week in every one of our 3 terms, our 3 semesters. And there's a range of activities across that week. Some will be on campus, some will be online, so that our online students can access this material as well. And it's to provide you with opportunities to skill up, to think about your CV, to think about writing your CV, to engage more closely with our careers service. We also bring alumni back to talk to you about their experience, both of their degree, but also how did they get a job and what does their career look like going forward, to give you maybe ideas if you're not too sure what you want to do next. Skill sessions with employers coming on board to talk about how to apply to themselves. So a whole mix of different types of activities which you can choose to engage with. So that's a focused week that will happen each semester, but we also have a range of other activities. So the careers service was just mentioned. We have a very active careers service. You can engage with them to spend some time on one-to-one interviews. If you have no idea what you want to do next, they can help you start to look at options and opportunities. They can help you with CV practice. They can help you also with interview practice. So if you've got an interview coming up, they can talk to you about interview practice as well. We're also trialling this year professional and academic skills for business. This is a 0 credit course that goes alongside international business management and accounting and finance. And it's there to provide dedicated academic writing support for things like plagiarism sessions. Careers come and get involved. Alumni are involved in those sessions as well. But we also talk about well-being. We fully understand that whether you be online and you're trying to juggle family responsibilities, work responsibilities, online studies, or you are coming to Aberdeen, maybe from the other side of the world, it can be a bit of a culture shock. So there's lots of support available to you to enhance your experience and to support your success in studying at the University of Aberdeen. We work very closely with our student societies. We have a finance society, a finance and trading society. They use Bloomberg, but they also have active trading. We have an economics and business society that does what it says in the tin, women in business. And there's a ball. So if you are on campus, there's a ball each year that you can join in, which is run by the students for their fellow students. So the societies are a way of engaging outside your studies, making friends and settling down. As I say, we understand your well-being concerns for both you and your family members as well. So we start the year with an induction, which is our opportunity to just welcome you to the university and to guide you towards the various support. More of that in a few minutes. We have student support available to you, which is that can cover anything. So that could be if you're struggling with friends in accommodation, as well as your any academic issues you may be having, you can contact student support. So you don't necessarily, we are aware that some students don't want to talk to academics if they have an issue. They would rather talk to somebody who's independent. So student support provides that support network to you. We also have counselling. So if you are struggling with any issues, you have counselling. All of these facilities are free. Well, they're part of the fee that you're going to pay to come to the University of Aberdeen. So there's no additional fees for any of this support that is available to you. Gareth, could you move on to the next slide, please? Thank you. Oh, yes, that's it. Thank you very much. These slides are being shared by my colleague Jay. So you'll see that there are links out to provide you with additional information on what support is available. So you can get some more details about what's involved in the orientation week, which is a week of activities. There's business school information, so you can find out a little bit more about the school itself. For international students, there's a student meet and greet and pre-departure information as well to support you as you arrive in Aberdeen. It can be a bit discombobulating getting off an international flight, and it's a city that you may not know very well. And as I say, through your degree as well, you've got employment opportunities. Career Service are constantly advertising opportunity, postgraduate jobs and activities that you can sign up to get a feed, a weekly email that will tell you about all these wonderful opportunities that are available to you. If you are studying with some of the aspects of your studies, that may be academic writing, if you haven't perhaps done any academic writing for a while, or it may be that you're struggling a little bit with the maths. Then there is student support and resources. So there's lots of resources that are available free online, but there are also one-to-one and group sessions that you can sign up to, and you do that through student support. If you're an international student and you're concerned that you're struggling a little bit with your languages, we have the Language Centre. We have a very close relationship with the Language Centre. And again, they run one-to-one sessions. They run group sessions that you can sign up to, which allows you to get some support with your language skills as you settle into your studies. And in terms of support and well-being, we strongly encourage you to join those societies and have some fun, as well as balancing out your studies. But if you are struggling, there is the counselling service, there's out-of-hours services that are available to you as well. So that's just a run through of all of our student support and our careers and employability. We're going to move on now to a Q&A session, which is a live Q&A session. So if you've got any questions, if you want to pop them into the chat or put your microphone and ask, then we're happy to try and answer them. If we can't answer it now, we can send a link on to you afterwards.
Excellent.
So,
Thank you, Lindsay. Really informative. Great session. Thank you to Jay as well, and also to Salam, who I know has had to leave the conversation also. At this point, like you mentioned, we are going to have a live Q&A. We are going to ask some questions that have been asked before the session, during the session, and questions that I actually have as well, because it's always intriguing watching the webinar sessions and finding out more about each and every single business school, university, and so on from there. Jay, I want to talk about Aberdeen as a place to begin with, because ultimately students on an international level are going to be buying into the city or the place where they're going to be living. I've been to Aberdeen before. You've mentioned it in your presentation. It's a lovely place. It's not one of your major biggest cities in the UK that's, you know, you're gonna drown in. Do you want to talk a bit more about that?
Certainly, Gareth. Yes, it is, as you say, been discussed earlier, that is very much a small, compact city that you can stand up in our library and be able to see the views out to the Shire, you know, the farmland almost sort of thing. The castles are a bit further away to be able to see by eye, and then be able to see out to the sea itself and see all the boats and the sort of lighthouse that you can see and the beachfront, but also be able to see the city centre to the other side of the view. It is a very small, compact city, but it is very beautiful, and it is very close actually when you think about it, especially compared to other countries in the size that they are, how close you can quickly get to the likes of Edinburgh, the likes of Glasgow, even a flight to London. I will be travelling actually for work down to London. It's only going to take me an hour at the end of February, so it's very close. The city is actually very safe. A lot of our students and responsive who had. There was also a survey that took place in the UK, and out of six to 10,000 people that had taken part in the survey had said that Aberdeen was actually one of the best places to live. So we're delighted. Yes, we agree. We very much agree. But it is a very safe place to live. There's not much danger about it. The campus as well, especially, is quite a safe place to live. It's all very close knit. The campus, and there is opportunities for the accommodation on the campus as well as slightly off campus. But the campus itself is very close factor. There's a lot of the buildings that you can see behind me that's in the picture that's very old, very rustic looking, very beautiful, historic archways, cobbled streets. And then the city and the lifestyle is what you would expect from sort of any city. It's got a bit of bustling nightlife. It's got the restaurants and the pubs and the coffee shops and the shops and all that sort of things. And again, we are probably about a 15-minute walk literally from the university to the actual city centre, like where all the streets are with all the shops and all that sort of thing. So again, very, very close campus to be able to jump on a bus or walk to the beach, walk to the shops, or jump on a bus out to a tour. As I say, we've got all these sort of different tours going on for everybody within Aberdeen, but also within the Shire. So you can join one of these local tours or one of the Shire-based tours that'll take you further out to the castles, and they've got all sorts of experiences and walks and you know, woodland and things around the castle. So there's lots of opportunities for different things. We've also got, as Lindsay's covered, our societies and our social life. Across the road, we've actually got a sort of joint discount membership for our students as well for it's called Aberdeen Sports Village. And it is a large aquatic and sports facility. I actually go to it. I absolutely love it. We get a discount as well, being staff. It's brilliant. It's a big, beautiful place. It's actually quite a new building. It's got Olympian diving and pool, an Olympian pool, which is the only one in the whole of Scotland. And this is directly across the road from the university. And the end of the university is across the road. So it's extremely close. Lots of students use it, but we also have our societies on top of that who use that facility and the societies come in any aspect that you could possibly have a hobby or an interest in. I'm pretty sure we have the societies for it. And so there's lots of different, you know, opportunities for students to sort of meet. We have opportunities for students when they arrive to go meet like-minded students. We've got our Lindsay, can you correct me what it's called? It's like our buddying system, and the opportunity that if you want to, you know, I've just arrived from this country, I kind of want to meet somebody else that's from this country to find out, you know, local produce that's available. We do have this in Aberdeen. We do have lots of shops that are, you know, Chinese culture shops, Polish or Russian, or, you know, lots of different variations where you're able to go and buy the produce that you're used to back in your home country. So this is the sort of things we've tried to set up for our students for an experience side as well, that yes, you're moving to Aberdeen. Yes, we have our own culture and we want to immerse you in that culture, but we also want to make sure that you have that little bit of home life with you, and that comfortableness to make sure that your experience is new and exciting being in Aberdeen, but you feel like you still have that comfort with you and that you're not missing home too much, and that you know it's a safe environment to be in.
Can I also talk about the affordability as well? Because it's a big factor. Money is, you know, what people worry about. Money is what drives people as well. So being in Aberdeen, a little bit out of the way, not majorly out of the way, but a little bit out of the way, must make it a lot more affordable compared to other major cities. And I think Scotland as a whole, compared to the rest of the UK, is quite affordable. But in particular, Aberdeen, you know, can you put those worries to rest and tell people, you know, you are 15 minutes from the campus, from the town centre, sorry, like you mentioned, so nothing's going to cost you that much.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the charges for needing to get on a taxi or a underground travel or anything like that to get to distance places. It's quite close that you don't really need that. You could walk, you could jump on the buses, which are relatively cheap, and you do get student discounts. So there are, you know, varying factors that you can help with that. In terms of our fees, we've also got the scholarships which are available. They are by domicile, by country, so I can't give you a spitballing of, you know, you could get this, because it's very different depending where you come from. All of that information is on our website and in the links that I've sent already through. But there is a massive discount available for international students. Our fees are at a set level because we do have all these different factors that come in from our engagement side externally. We have all these extra things that other universities sometimes don't do. So we've got the external factor coming in. We've got our research base that, you know, we spoke about REF earlier. It's all new. It's all research-based information that the students are getting. It's very much focus-led from the academics that have been doing the live research. So but we do have the scholarships available. We do have other funding opportunities available. And if an international students, there's allowance for some sort of hours per week or per month for working if it did come to that. But it's quite a cheap city to live in compared to obviously the major cities. It's not too expensive and things are quite close by. And I think it was part of that research that I mentioned earlier, the sort of stats that they took in from that 6,000 to 10,000 people said that actually it's one of the more affordable places to live. And as we used to, you know, we were sort of energy capital of Europe, it's quite interesting to hear that, that we are affordable to live.
Yeah, and Lindsay, can I, during the presentation, you spoke about the employability and the opportunities for students afterwards to perhaps stay in Aberdeen, but even if they don't, to gain a career and forge relationships. Is that a key reason for someone to come and study, in particular, business at Aberdeen, given the links that you guys have got?
Absolutely. I mean, we take this very seriously. We absolutely understand why people are investing in themselves, because we are a business school. So we look at that investment and say, this is about you investing in yourself and in terms of your future. We also recognize some people have no idea what they want to do next. They, you know, in a way, they're doing an MSc or an MBA because they don't know what to do next, and it buys them another year. And it's a year to explore. And it's a year to say, well, what are the opportunities that might be available to me? So if you're in that scenario, that's where the career service, and we link so closely with the career service to say, you can get engaged with them. As I say, they'll have one-to-one meetings, but they also have some fantastic online materials that actually allow you to find out a bit more about you and about what drives you and about what you want to do next. Some people come knowing exactly what they want to do next. So they've got a long-term career plan, and the MSc or the MBA is part of what they know they need to do next. But again, it's about understanding, okay, this is the academic material, but how do you secure that job? We know it's a hugely competitive world out there. So for instance, Salam mentioned the CFA qualification. What we recognized was, let's be realistic, a lot of you can get an MSc in finance from a lot of different places. If you get the MSc in finance plus the CFA, what you're saying to an employer is you're less of a risk, because when you go on to do CFA, frankly, there's a high failure rate on it. If you've already passed that first level, then the employer is going to look at you and say, yes, not only have you got the MSc, you've also got the CFA. So we're always looking at opportunities within our programs to kind of give those additional skills that will allow you to say, I'm different. We also know that it's a competitive world out there if you're applying for jobs. So you want to be best placed to make sure your CV is appropriate for whichever country you're applying for, which is one of the reasons we're building up our work with our alumni network. So we're not just talking about getting jobs in the UK. Some students will want to go back where home is, wherever home is. So what skills can we help in that area? There is, of course, the post-study visa. So the post-study visa, which, I mean, the rules change on this all the time, so we can't say too much to it. But at the moment, you know, if you come and study here, if you successfully complete your program, of course, the benefit is that you can get access to that post-study visa for 2 years to come and, you know, to work and live within the UK with no other criteria at the moment that is required. So I think that's quite an attractive reason to come here if you're thinking, yep, you know what, I'd like to be here for more than a year, really. I want to build a career and a future within the UK.
Excellent. And Jay, can I come back to you about scholarships and funding? It's a really popular question. You know, there's always people asking, can I have a free course? Can I enroll and waive the fee? What scholarships and funding opportunities are there, not only within the university, but externally as well? To name a few, the likes of the Chevening Scholarship, the Marshall Scholarships. Do you work with those bodies to get high caliber students on board?
Yes, we do have we do work with them. We do have our scholarship database, which I believe my colleague Lucy has responded to a few times in the chat. So that funding link will take you through, and there will be an opportunity to look into scholarships. And our scholarships for international students can range from £3,000 support to £8,000. So it can be a varying. Again, as I say, it's by domicile. It's dependent on the country of origin. And but the database will let you filter through that information, and it'll be quite quick to be able to find out, okay, I'm from this country, let's see what the database says. Brilliant, it says I can get up to the X, Y, or Z amount. So it very much varies, which is why I can't be more specific to individuals when they're asking the questions, because I don't know where necessarily what country they're from. But the scholarships database is in that funding link, so please go and have a look. It's worthwhile to check to see if you can get that little bit more support. We understand it's a big commitment, a big amount of money, and anything that it can do to help, obviously, in this sort of economy it's worthwhile to look at.
And also as well, given the different array of nationalities, I think you mentioned over 50 in your presentation earlier, just in the business school. One of the questions that's come in is around English language testing requirements, IELTS, Pearson's, and so on from there. What is the requirement levels? And if someone's not up to scratch, what have you got in place to ensure that a student can get to that required level?
So the IELTS, so again, in each program, it does detail the entry requirements. IELTS tends to be the basic requirement that we do have, and it does detail in each program, again in the links that we've been sending through, dependent upon the program. It says the level that's required, and it does detail that in the entry requirements for the program specifically that you want to come and study. So when you have decided to have a look at that program page, and it gives you a full list of details, including the entry requirements. We do have our language centre. Lindsay, are you able to detail any more on that?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple of opportunities. So there are English language requirements for the courses. So as Jay said, if you would go online and you'd have a look at the program. But we understand that not all students will have that language requirement at this stage. So we work very closely with the International Study Centre. So the International Study Centre provides free study sessions that allow you to get your English up, and actually not just your English, they focus on the way we study. Scottish education, very much about independent study and individual study. So they talk a little bit about that, but they also provide that language support. So that's the International Study Centre support. The Language Centre also runs a whole year or short summer sessions prior to the teaching, which again allows you to get your language up to the skills it needs to be if it's not there yet. So that's a pre-MSc or pre-MBA course that you can sign up to. We all know that Even if you've got your IELTS, though, the reality is that that's normal spoken language, and we use a lot of technical language within the degrees, which is why the Language Centre provides in-course support and works very closely with our programme leaders and with myself to provide support, so the students can actually engage with that themselves, or, as I say, we have an entire course actually supporting IBM and Accountancy and Finance, which is around language support. And actually, if I can just add on about disability support as well. I remember when I moved from industry into academia, I naively thought that if people had disability provisions or provisions in place for learning differences from either school or from their previous degree, that would somehow automatically roll forward when you moved into your next level of education. So a top tip, wherever you go, if you do have those provisions in place, they do not roll forward automatically. So we would encourage you to engage with, and again, it's student support, and they can direct you to any disability support. And the other thing is, we recognise that a lot of students come to us who do have learning differences, but actually it's never been identified or picked up. That may be due to cultural differences, but often it's due to cost as well. It can be very expensive to get a diagnosis, and we understand that. So if you have had any sense in your education that there may have been an issue, an underlying issue there, we encourage you to engage with student support as well. They will funnel you through into our disability team who look at the provisions, and they can do dyslexia screening, dyscalculus, handwriting, dysgraphia, all these sorts of things. They can look at it for you. And again, it's free. And then if there is an underlying issue, they can put provisions in place that means that you can meet your academic potential, because that's what it's all about, meeting your academic potential.
Excellent. One final question, just before we do move on to the final question. Anyone please put in their email addresses in the chat facility. If you can refrain from doing that, just simply because we will send you a recording of this session anyway, and also you're sharing your details with potentially hundreds of thousands of other people in the long run. So please refrain from doing that, and we will, I promise, send you a version of this session. Final question, Jay, and Lindsay, if you want to come in as well at some point. We heard from Salem earlier about the courses in particular that you guys focused on, the MBA, the finance, MSc finance in particular. There will be a lot of people watching that aren't up to speed in terms of how degrees now work on a postgraduate level, that will have the stereotype in their head that if they do an online course, it doesn't have the same standing and isn't looked at in the same regard with employers moving forward as a PGT course. Can you put that to bed? Because there'll be a lot of people worried about that, you know, in particular in China, long time ago now. It used to be if you had an online course, it wouldn't have any kind of standing, but that's all different and changed now, isn't it?
Yep, certainly. Lindsay, I'll let you chime in definitely as well if you've got anything to add. But the online courses, specifically for example, the MSc Finance, it's still an MSc. You're still getting that qualification at the end of the day. The opportunity for making it online is so that we're being inclusive. We're being inclusive of those that maybe have other commitments for caring, for working full time, and they're still able to gain that qualification on the side. So the online is allowing them to do it in a longer period of time. It's still getting the same, as I say, qualification. It's still getting the same knowledge, the same course expectations, the same studying expectations from it. It's changed slightly and made slightly so that we can be more inclusive for those that do have the availability only on a slightly part-time basis. So for the example that I'll give you for MSc Finance, if I continue with that one, it does note that it's for 24 months around that time period to allow you to have that extension of the 1 year of typical postgraduate. So by no means is it a lesser programme than what our usual MSc of Finance would be. We will be having an MSc our Economics, Energy and Finance online. That will also be a version that we're having in-house in Aberdeen as well. They are exactly the same. The courses are the same. The pricing will be the same. The expectations, the academics, the resources that we use, the support that we have. It's literally just so that we're being so inclusive that everybody has the opportunity. If this is what you want to do and this is going to help you progress in your studies and in your field that you want to focus on and work, that you're having that availability. You're not being shunted because you can't come and commit 100% your full time, that you've maybe got other things on the side you need to commit to. So as I say, these are making them flexible for these students, and you are still getting the same benefits. There'll be slight changes in terms of how things are maybe delivered. There obviously won't be the in-person. It's definitely fully online, but we are again trying to be inclusive so that we're offering our online students, if they happen to be in Aberdeen, they can come and visit the campus. We're going to offer them to come and join possibly our professional development week that Lindsay discussed earlier, or our careers sessions that we have. So they are getting an option to be included in the Aberdeen campus and the life here, but very much if it doesn't suit you, you've still got the opportunity to be included as well.
Excellent. And Lindsay, just before I pass over to you as well, I'd imagine one of the very few good things that have come out of the global pandemic that we saw is the ability to learn online, and how universities across the UK, around the world, have evolved. So gone are the days where online courses are you're looking at a laptop or a PC, as they used to call it years ago, and you're just learning and that's it, and you're left to it on your own. We're doing webinars now. We do virtual meetings all day, on a professional level and on a personal level. So Lindsay, I'm sure you'll agree, although things are different now, it's very much for the better.
Absolutely. I mean, as Salam mentioned, we were ahead of the game really, because 2016, 2017 we were going online, because we were seeing one of our founding father, Bishop Helpeston, 500 years ago came up with our founding statement, which is being open to all, dedicated to the pursuit of truth, and in the service of others. And that open to all bit is really important. Now, that was 500 years ago he said that. Still valid today. So the university had this commitment to say, how do we be open to all? And not everybody can come to the campus, wherever you are in the world. Not everybody can afford that. The other thing is, coming to campus usually means not having your job and carrying on with your career. Now, as somebody who's coming from industry, we recognise that you need that balance between the academia and the experience. So for a lot of people, keeping your degree, keeping your career going at the same time as building up new skills. And that's what employers are saying to us. Employers are saying to us across the board, we need to skill up the next generation. And actually, learning online provides you with a huge skill base that you are, as you just said, Gareth, you are going to be using in your day-to-day life from now on. Post-pandemic, that's exactly what we're going to do. You are right, though, there are some employers in some parts of the world so it is something to look at in terms of your local country, but generally that has been swept away by the pandemic. And a university like the University of Aberdeen, our online courses, as Jay said, go through exactly the same QA process. So the academic standards required for an online course are as high as they are on campus. There is no difference to online versus being on campus. They go through the same QA program, and they have the same external accreditation. I mentioned at the beginning that we had EQUIS accreditation. One of the things they're looking at is all of our programs. Where are they delivered? Whether they're delivered remotely off campus in, say, Qatar or here or online. The quality has got to be there.
And I've got one more question. I know I said last time that was asked, but I think it's important we go through it. Just kind of based on what we've just spoken about, really. We've seen at Postgrad Solutions a bit of a shift in terms of the patterning of the type of student looking to study a graduate degree. It used to be, you get to a certain point in the middle of your life, 30, 35. We're talking many moons ago now, that you couldn't then go on and study a degree. You couldn't go and do your master's degree. Things have changed now because of online. It means you can study whilst having a family. Do you guys see that as well from University of Aberdeen having changed to an online or built the online platform 7-8 years ago now, that you're seeing more and more mature students coming on board and not seeing an issue?
Yeah, Jay, can I? So absolutely. I think it's important to say that our subjects are generally, most of them are conversion degrees. So they are aimed at, the majority of them are aimed very much at students who have never done anything. So for finance, for instance, who may have done engineering or a social science degree or something completely different and have decided that they're career changers. So they're either come out of their degree and gone, not sure what I want to do next. As I say, I want to change the direction. Maybe I wish I'd done something more business focused. Or, as you say, they're partway through their degree, their career, and they reach a barrier, and they go, I can't move forward unless I have that higher qualification. And it's not about the qualification after all; it's about the skills that you attain. It's about the knowledge that you are going to gather. It's about that critical thinking that allows you to get that next level up. So yes, from my perspective as an academic, we definitely see a change.
Excellent. Jay, Lindsay, thanks for your time. I'm just conscious of time, so I think we'll have to wrap up there. It's been a fantastic session. Everyone watching, you've all asked questions pretty much, and I appreciate there has been someone in the background answering them, but if anything hasn't been answered and you do have any further questions, my email's on the screen. We do have all your details, so we will reach out to you with a copy of this session. And likewise, I'm sure somebody from the University of Aberdeen will be in touch to say thank you for attending, and you can reach out to them that way. A reminder, in the chat, there is links to all and everything that we've spoken about today. There is a Word document in there along with some requirements that I've seen that Lucy's put in as well. But for now, a huge thank you, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully later on in the year or next year, where we sit down again with Aberdeen, perhaps with business school, but perhaps with a different school, who knows. But thank you for now. Take care. Bye-bye.